Okay, TikTok, this is for entertainment purposes only. None of it's true. All right, guys, I'm just going to lay it on this channel. Hope I don't get my last strike here. You want me to talk up? So, here we go. And we get to the point. Arkansas, JFK Park. He made his last public appearance here. JFK would be 107 years old if he was still alive, which he might be this year. Highway 17 runs exactly 17 miles in Cleveland County. You need to hear me to the end of this video. If you think this is crazy, and it might be, I'm not crazy. I tell people I'm insane. Ain't that cool? So here we go. I was called out of the blue by a person on my home phone who I hardly ever get calls on it, but spam calls. And they told me this information. But they also told me information. They said that Source God told them. But to prove themselves, they described a deer camp I used to hunt at and a made bed down to the T, and a conversation that I'll bring up in a later video about me and my dad and the Masonic connections and my adoption. And the conversation was just between me and my dad and brought up a name that only he talked about. So 50 years ago, and I'd never met the person before. They told me that Source wanted to download me to lead people that wanted to know the truth and be free on my TikTok channels to the truth, and they described it in detail. Now, if you don't want to know the truth, get out here. And from now on, any disrespectful comments, no, you're blocked and reported. I'm tired of it. And most of them are trolls. I'm laying it out. I'm trying to help you. Why is Cleveland County so important? Why is Arkansas so important? This is what they told me. Okay? And this is a person who described a conversation between me and my dad, who I'd never met and never said anything even to my mom 50 years ago. Cleveland County, Arkansas. Greers Ferry Lake Dam. Right by it, by the dam, is JFK Park, the land where he dedicated it in 1963, and he was gone, I believe, 53 or 63 days later, something like that. November 2022. I think he was up here October 3rd of November 1963. There was on Pryor Mountain, not too far from the guy who probably helped get me adopted, who was the original owner of Windstream Verizon, which was Allied, and Alltel, which my dad was one of the first employees. There was a SATANIC ceremony that went on the day or two before JFK got up here. Okay, a lot of y'all ain't familiar with this area, but it went on. He had that. This is what they said. There was a reason he come to Cleveland County. He knew what was going on up here. There was a lot of, traffic still. And when you turn at Quitman, it says Greers Ferry 17. Going into Quitman, it says Heber Springs 17. When you go on down towards Heber Springs, Highway 16, it says Greers Ferry 17. At there is Gateway Country Groceries. This person said that the original owners there did not name it Gateway by accident. They said that it was the gateway to a portal that's the largest in the world that Greers Ferry Lake covers, a portal to lost souls. And remember, the person knows, somehow spiritually connected. And that's the reason, because I don't think Greers Ferry is exactly 17 miles. And they said the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers involved up here was. And that is what went on up here. They say under the lake is a portal to lost souls. It's the largest in the world. It was not an accident that Mike Lindell mentioned Cleveland County in an interview, and we're one of 3,300 counties. And the guy who's 107 is supposed to be a Nassus. And the O. And the people that sent me 17 pennies, if y'all are familiar with that, they described her in detail, a red-headed woman from Texas that sat and watched me at the favorite restaurant in Greers Ferry. The owner don't want to mention it no more because it freaked people out when that agent was up there. And the woman was instructed by old Savin to send me them, and they had a curse on them. I was told to throw them in the lake, and I did because the person knew so much. And since then, I've got a sty in my eye, I've got a sore here. I've had some things happen. But they said they was from Texas, but they sat and watched me. They said this Mr. 07 has been here to Cleveland County. They said they have sat in disguise at the restaurant and watched me. That is what they have said, and they was pretty accurate. So that is what's going on here in Cleveland County. If you look at what's all going on, the military operations and everything else, it is plausible. I'm giving you information from a person. How could they know the conversation me and my dad had at a deer camp 50 years ago? So when you turn Highway 17, that is supposed to be a gateway to the biggest portal of lost souls in the world. So we'll find out. But why did the eclipse? The eclipse is one of the places that come over. And why would they mention, why would Michael Lindell, there's 3,300 counties. Why Cleveland County, Arkansas? There's other Cleveland counties. So that's it. I've laid it out. Now in later videos, I will tell them, I will tell you, I'm going to try to meet with somebody this week and talk to them who is close to my dad and tell you who. I can't confirm it yet. Still might not be able to confirm. It's one of two people. One was a pretty famous, wasn't, was an athlete on a famous NFL team. The other was a political figure that was well known that is connected to a very famous person. It's one or the other. Might not ever find out. It's not that earth-shaking, but it's interesting. But what's interesting is what they're going to find here in Cleveland County. I think they're going to find a lot here in Arkansas, and you're going to be shocked a lot about Arkansas. So I've laid it out, but what do you think? What if somebody called you and told you about a conversation you'd never met, told you about a conversation between you and your parents to the exact conversation and the exact name you was talking about and where you hunted or where you spent your childhood and a piece of furniture in there? I think you're going to find out there's a lot here. There's a lot under Greers Ferry Lake, and you know, it's just too, the Miller's Point where the ceremony is supposed to go on as the crow flies is about, I don't want to say about 3 miles west of where JFK made his last public appearance. A lot of weird stuff going on, guys. There it is for you. No more negative comments. I've had it. I'm wore out. I have done, and most of you trolls, but I have had it. I am barely hanging on, and I'm doing the best I can for y'all. So I know you trolls and bots ain't going to stop. I'll just block you. But you negative people who are just there to be smart aleck and everything, don't come here no more. I've had it. Remember, love, kindness, and generosity are the only thing that take with you into eternity and the only thing that will transcend time and space. Good night, everybody.